3, 2, 1. And let's keep on rolling. So folks, this is Lego City Undercover, and the category today is Undercover Percent, and you might be thinking to yourself, what is Undercover Percent? It's the first 4 chapters of this game, which seems a little arbitrary, but you get the Undercover Percent, or the Undercover, costume at the end of the 4th chapter, beginning of the 5th. And it's a nice kind of casual viewing experience, and it's a nice casual running experience. It's the category that everybody loves to see and everybody loves to run. And so this is why I'm so glad to get to show it to y'all today. First off, we're going to start off driving. We have a huge overworld in this game, and we're going to get to see a lot of that during this run. Got our main character, Chase McCain, police officer. We've got only one costume available to us right now. We're going to be getting a couple more throughout the run, and one that you, if you've played casually, might not expect us to get. And folks, here we are, player 2, dropping on in. For those of you who are LEGO game fanatics, you guys will know of the 1P, 2C strats. Gonna hit this checkpoint right here, and we are into the police station. I just grabbed right there super brick. This category has some amount of resource management, which you might not expect. You might expect studs, but we also have another thing to keep track of in this game called bricks. And bricks are important for a game mechanic called super builds. These super builds, we'll do 3 of them throughout the run. They're super cool. I always like viewing them. They're a little bit of an unskippable cutscene, but always fun to watch. It's just building Legos. What could be better, you know? We're just going through. This is the police station. I'm getting a few more bricks from just breaking some of these breakable objects in the police station, hoping to get just a little bit more. And of course, we've got no cuts in. Player 2 here is going to hit all of the points that we need him to. And we're going to try to manipulate Frank, the guy talking to us, to a specific spot. Right there, he's going to go into the next voice line. Right there, without having to move. It saves just a couple seconds. But beyond that, there's not a whole lot of time save that we can really get here. It's just playing to the best of your ability and really trying to keep tight lines, do good driving going into police station, and just being a good speedrunner in general. One of the biggest mechanics that we're going to see here soon enough when we get out of the basement is a little thing called warp to player. And, you know, for other LEGO games, you might be thinking, where's the warp to player button there? There is none. This game is pretty unique in the fact that when they introduced Remaster Edition, which was the PC and the Xbox yada 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 edition, it added in a second player, and TT Games kind of sloppily added in this warp to player button. And we're going to abuse it as much as humanly possible in this run. It should make for some very interesting kind of out-of-bounds moments that y'all will see. Once again, just doing more 2-player movement, just trying to get ourselves as fast as possible, as smooth as possible through this police station. And right here, coming up, we're going to have to do our first warp to player glitch to get into the office before we're actually supposed to. Doesn't save a huge amount of time, but if you can get one of the players inside and set up to finish up the police station. It's a good 10-second time save at most. Beautiful first try. Hasn't happened to me in a while, I can tell you that much. We're in an unskippable cutscene here, but that might have gone a little fast for y'all. This category goes quite fast. It's a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. It's it's rough sometimes, just trying to keep track of everything. Right there, we've got our warp to player. As you can see, we turned first player around back towards the door, and player 2 went through the door. It's super impressive to do, but super hard to pull off. There we are. You can do a little, that B button to investigate comes up kind of late sometimes. And you'll be able to see what we get to do here. Normally we would get a key there, and we would have to walk all the way back, and then break this, and then build this thing. But instead, we're able to just build it right away, as soon as we get the key. Not a bad office, if I do say so myself. And now, folks, what really makes this game unique is the overworld. People have talked about it like it's Lego GTA. I think that's a fun comparison, because it really is Lego GTA, but you're on the good side here. You're a cop. And we get to do some really cool stuff within this first chapter. We're still in the first chapter here. We have to catch 3 clowns, and each one is going to kind of show more of how we abuse warp to players and how we abuse this game's own mechanics against it. Soon enough, we're going to go, just gonna spam, there we are. A lot of unskippable cutscenes at the very beginning, but as soon as we're done with chapter 1, Fudagi, it's gonna go fast. Gonna quickly hit this checkpoint. Oof. The driving AI sometimes gets in the way. Hopefully the driving AI will help me here. Gonna hope for a fast clown 1 here. As you can see, we need to break his car 4 times. Alright, a little strange, but we regained. No 2 clown 1s are ever the same. You can prep as much as you want, but that's clown 1 right there. Not a bad clown 1 in the slightest. I'm fairly happy with that. Gonna make sure, there we are. There's that tram. That tram right there instantly explodes a car, and we want to keep this car. We would like to set up this car at the end of Clown 2. Again, just small little optimizations here within Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is the most reset-heavy point. We're already setting up Player 2 and Player 1 to hit 2 checkpoints at the same time. We've got in this unskippable cutscene. It's just thing after thing after thing. But here we are. We're coming up to Clown 2. Clown 2 is pretty interesting. We get to do a little bit more warp to players. We get to skip a whole bunch of time here that you would normally do casually. And this is going to be a recurring theme throughout this entire speedrun, is because we've got 2 players in this game, not only do we get the added benefit of, you know, figuring out how to route 2 players at the same time, we also get to really abuse this warp to player mechanic. Makes us super fast. Yes, and we are going to be getting to some fun voice lines. You might have already noticed some of the fun voice lines already. By the way, here's another, we don't grab the thing, but we can just do that, and we're okay. Saves a little bit of time right there. That was a fun find. But yes, we are in Italian. It saves 8 seconds in this entire category. And I mean, it would just be worth it for the voice lines alone. I'm going to drop out player 2 here. This lets us skip what is normally an unskippable cutscene in just a little bit. Beautiful. All right, and would you look at that? Our car is right where we want it to be. We're going to start driving over to Clown 3. Again, reducing the amount of time we're going to be able to set up at checkpoints. We're going to be very happy. And Clown 3 is fun, because this is where we start to, not necessarily sequence break, but do the game out of order. This is the fun part of Undercover percent. A lot of any percents in the last year have seen a lot of optimization with things called doors, which if you've watched some of the any percent runs earlier in this marathon, you will have seen these things called doors. You get to sequence break, go to the last level, finish the game. It's incredible. But Undercover percent is a category which forces us to follow the story, but do it as fast as possible. We're going to do a little... camera was sucking there, but we've got to just ride this tight line, and there we are. If we go to the right there, we fall into a cutscene that puts us back outside the gate, and if we fall to the left there, we fall in the water. Either way, an unfortunate time. Ooh, some interesting... got stuck in there just a sec. Here's that warp outside the gate. We can actually abuse it since we're doing everything out of order. But yeah, the fun part about this category is you know, we get to follow the story, but we get to see what kinds of things we can do to break the game itself. It's almost like an intended breaking of the game, which is weird to say, but that's personally why I like Undercover percent a lot. And here we are, Chapter 2. A very good run so far. Losing almost no time from Office earlier. We are doing very well.
Can I read a donation real quick?
Of course.
We have 2 donations. $15 from Heika. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. That says, no basement early. Very sad. And then $8 from Dragon number 2003 with no comment. Thank you for your donations.
Thank you, y'all, for your donations. Basement early is a meme strat. I won't go too much further into it because that's mostly just what it is. We are going to quickly manipulate some car spawns here. Hopefully we got it. A little bit of a loading issue. There we are. Folks, I'm going to need to, if you are in chat and have the ability to type, I'm going to need for you to put in a little Transter Pog. It's a tradition of ours in the LEGO City Undercover community. Transter is going to help us do a pretty cool glitch here in just a second. Which is, I alluded to it earlier, that we were getting a bunch of costumes throughout this game. We've already got the police costume, as you can see, but we're gonna get a costume here which you're supposed to get in Chapter 9, and you might be thinking, DJ, why are we getting a Chapter 9 costume in Chapter 2? And I would say, well, perhaps you have not seen some of the LEGO Harry Potter any percent runs, but I would also say it's because we get to save about 2 minutes over a quote-unquote farmerless route. We're going to set up our car here. This is where you would normally find Farmer in your casual playthrough. And we can abuse, once again, the game's intended mechanics. You see how Chase is kind of flopping back and forth on the top of the hood. we can use that. Because he has no hitbox, he can just go through that wall, and we can get that costume early. Very, very cool strat. It's definitely a little bit of a swag strat, that's for sure. But it does help us quite a bit throughout this run. We're gonna abandon player 2 there to get him out of there. Taxi Cab, a little bit of an unfortunate car, and this is, folks, I'm gonna need to quiet down just for a little bit because we are doing some of the most thought-intensive part of this run right here. Two-player driving. Two-player driving is hard. Going to exit player 2 just a little bit early so that we can get... Once again, the warp to player mechanic is gonna get abused pretty heavily here. Watch this. Whee! It's always fun. Always fun. We can use player 2 there to get a little bit further along, back towards place where we started, back towards our next objective. And while we're doing that, we can actually do a little bit of, once again, resource management. You can see in the top left of your screen the ×2 button, which hopefully, there we are, turns ×3. We get another super brick there. We get, which is normally 10k bricks. We need, I believe it's around 55k bricks in total for this run. And right there, you can see at the top, we've already spent 10k. We're at 45k total over the course of this run. All we need to do is get one other 10k brick sometime in this run, and we'll be happy. We don't need to get this checkpoint here. We can actually just warp to the top of that roof, and we hit it anyways. I used to get roasted in the LEGO City Undercover Discord when I didn't do that strat. It's free time save. But yeah, here we are. We're actually going to do something which might be a little more akin to what you're used to in a LEGO game, which are these things called special assignments in LEGO City Undercover. These are what you would normally call levels in the game. There's 15 of them. There's 15 chapters in the game. One level for one chapter, roughly. As you can see, we didn't have one of these at the beginning of chapter 1. We get our first one here in chapter 2, and we're going to get 4 of them back to back here really quickly. All right, this is a make or break moment. Folks, we got Farmer for a very specific reason, and it's for movement in these levels. Going to need to quiet down here just a second, just so that I can perform well. We're going to abuse, once again, the warp mechanic. Get on top of these roofs, hopefully. There we are. To do a little bit of a backup strat there. And we can do a little thing there called extended chicken gliding. Farmer has this thing called a chicken glide, which normally you're able to, press A to jump, press A again, and you're able to glide for a little bit. We're going to do another example of it here. We can actually just switch between characters, and we do it anyways. Ooh, I missed that one. That's a little unfortunate, but we got the more important one, where we do a triple jump. Wow, okay. I got the important strat, and now I'm gonna fail the less important one. That's just how these things go, folks. We're gonna do a little bit of parkour here. Chase learns parkour. And once again, using that chicken glide just to get us a little more optimally in places. We can do a nice little frame-dependent trick here. I know every LEGO speedrunner cringes when they hear those words, frame-dependent trick, but on that pole there, we can jump and then let go, and we launch up in the air super high. Once again, doing some ECGs here, as normally you would go down and then back up, but here we can just continue to be at the same level. Those ECGs are really integral to some later parts of this run. You're going to see a lot of abuse of that, but we're also going to see abuse of another trick that needs Farmer, which is called triple jump within the community. You jump, swap characters back and forth, and you are able to get another jump. As you can imagine, in every speed game, you're always looking for ways to gain height and ways to slow your fall down in a game like this. And with Farmer, we get both of those. We get a way to gain height and we get a way to slow down. Those ECGs, as long as you're swapping back and forth, you chain them together, you're able to get some pretty amazing glides wherever you want. They're an integral part of not only Undercover percent, but every other category, main game category of this game. And here we are, Chapter 3, doing pretty well here, pretty well. Even despite missing a couple of those extended chicken glides in that special assignment. We're moving on to Albatross Island here. Once again, here I'm going to show off a triple jump. Oh, there we are. Oh. So we can use that to gain height. This is what's going to be a loading zone after Frank is done talking, and we're going to do a cool thing called sharp glitch here. Going to listen in. Alright, there's my cue. We're going to purposefully have Chase die here, but it skips what is normally an unskippable cutscene. Because the game loads in, you're able to go to this place early and build this super build early. Again, we're going to hear a cue here. As soon as Bluffbeard says Albatross, we're able to build the ferry. Once again, sit and enjoy beautiful building animation. It saves about 10 seconds over just sitting through the cutscene and then building it yourself.
Lo ha guidato di nuovo Franco? Mia grande sorpresa no. Oh, ok. Lascia che aggiorni di nuovo la tua trasmittente.
This is a fun part of this run. We're going to use Shark Glitch a little bit later to get a red brick. The only red brick within the first 4 chapters of this game. It's pretty nuts. We don't get fast build. We don't get studs ×2 or anything. Another great thing about this game, you don't have to buy red bricks here. And all the other games, speedruns, cried simultaneously. But no, it's true. We don't have to buy any red bricks in this game. So we're able to get at will and at whim whenever we need to. And the one that we'll get later will save us around 15 seconds if we do it optimally. Alright. Here we are at Albatross, kind of Alcatraz-esque island. We're going to do some pretty funky movement here. Remember those triple jumps? Well, I'm going to try to hit a bunch of them here. There's another 2. Going to skip a little bit of parkour here, hopefully. Beautiful. And once again, another little bit of parkour. Hopefully skip. There we are. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. And here we can warp in to hit a loading zone early, and we get warped to this cutscene. It's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to take advantage of in a speed run. Here at prison, we've got some fighting. This is the first fighting that we're going to see. We can use the grapple to take down a couple of these enemies. We're going to see how much I get. Or how many I get, excuse me. That was a poor warp there. we are. We're going to have player 2 in here. 5 guys, 1 basketball, 1 grapple gun. We're going to see how many Chase can take down with grapple gun. Put your guesses in chat right now. I'm thinking 2. 1! Aw, that's unfortunate. And no doubles. Sometimes you can hit them into each other, but Chase is getting a little bit of stage fright today, it seems, in terms of his fighting skills. Hopefully he'll clutch up later as we need to fight once more later in the run. We're going to set up player 2 here, just so that we can hit instant loading zone. It's beautiful. And into our next level, into our next special assignment. Once again, let's look at ECGs. What are we going to do? We're going to warp, and then we're going to ECG, and we're going to do some fun things here. Oh. Hoping, okay, cool. I was a little worried that I pushed player 1 too far. We're able to go out of bounds there through the warps. Oh, going to trigger 2 cutscenes at the same time, except we're not. Unfortunate. We are going to get another costume here, the robber costume. I unfortunately did not get the free time save there of hitting 2 cutscenes at once, but c'est la vie. This is as dubbed by everybody who has ever played Lego City Undercover and ever speedran it. This is the worst room in the game. It's essentially just an auto-scroller meant to show you one mechanic of the robber costume, which is breaking into safes. Cool on a first playthrough on your, what are we, 351st. Not as epic.
Ehi? C'è forse qualcuno?
No, te l'ho già detto. Non ho mai fatto entrare nessuno.
Once again, hearing those beautiful Italian accents. We can't skip this cutscene. There's only one really big unskippable cutscene, which folks on the Nintendo Switch can skip. I'll tell you when that is. But for folks on PC, it's an unskippable 40-second loss. But yeah, essentially an auto-scroller. Lost a little bit of time there just because, you know. Alright. Doing a little bit more 1 player 2 controller movement here. We're going to use player 1 to grapple this. Get the hot tub broken down. Trying to get these 3 buttons. They show up through different objects in the room. There's our first 2. We're going to warp up to get our last one. We're going to have to investigate and get the 3rd. And actually build it ourselves. There we are. Going to set up player 2 so that we're going to be able to finish this level right away. For any of y'all who've seen The Shawshank Redemption, it's bringing back some memories. We'll just jump in and... oh, this happened in practice as well. I've got to get that guy out of the way, or else I wouldn't be able to go into the level end sequence. As you can see, we're actually not hitting any doors just yet in this category. And once again, you might be thinking, okay, we had this big revolution of doors, and each level does have a door that you can hit at the end, and it is most certainly faster. This is the skippable cutscene on Switch, but the unskippable cutscene on PC. Of course, in Switch, you have to put in a little bit of work. You got to get a frame-perfect punch, but, you know. We can't even do that on PC. Back to what I was saying, we're not hitting any doors here. We're not really going out of bounds to try to do anything, and that's because within bounds we can be fairly fast and faster than we would be out of bounds. So far, that is. With our next special assignment coming up right away, we're going to be able to really, it's a blink and you'll miss it level. I know I've said that twice now, but that level amounts to a small portion of this run. It was my last hurdle that I needed to get before we really got this this speed run down to a, in my opinion, an acceptable level of of fast. Right now, the world record is sitting at a 42:22. And that was all made possible by doing some cool stuff at mine. Alright. I'm going to do a little bit of warping here once again. Those are what we normally call up warps in the game. That was a 1k super brick, by the way. That's why I didn't get it. I wasn't too stressed, because all we need is a 10k. And we got one right over here. Fortunately, just going to walk to our next checkpoint. Player 1 still gets the time to do a little bit of our last resource management within this game. Getting this last 10k super brick. And soon enough we'll be in mine. There's an interesting story, backstory to the mine level. It's actually, you know, we had a big old door revolution where people were able to just look in the game files and see all of these debugged doors. This one was found before any of that happened. It was found by one of the community members just messing around in the level, going out of bounds, and found a door that just put you to the last part of the level. Oh. There's a little bit of a weird B press there. If you press it, if you spam it, it doesn't actually, it'll stop for some reason. Not quite sure why that is a game mechanic, but unfortunate. Now, folks, I've got to be honest, we are getting to the latter part of this run. We've got 2 more levels. Once again, let me quiet up and let you guys enjoy what we get to do here. Oh, never mind. I'm not enjoying that. But hey, we're going to try and hit this door right out of bounds. I'm not hitting the triple jumps. There we are. Even despite some of that time loss right there, if you've ever played this casually, this saves almost all the time. It definitely saves all the time that it takes to get farmer, and even more. It saves a couple minutes doing that. We're going to try and do another pipe boost. Very clean, very clean. We get to abuse some geometry here and just jump up. Once again, using those triple jumps to get up to places where we would not normally be. And then extended chicken gliding to where we want to be. Gotta avoid some geometry. And that's about it for the level. Extended it a little bit, just I guess it wanted to rear its ugly head a little bit. I'm somewhat notorious for missing that first trick, but hey, we got there in the end. And as you can see, Farmer really breaks this game open at this point. If you've ever played this game casually, you're going, what the heck? What the heck? I'm being called cheater in the chat. Uh-oh. There's actually a super build here that we used to do, but we don't have to do anymore. Thank goodness, is what I'm saying to that. We are still fairly on pace for a good run. I'm hoping for... Sub 44 was an accomplishment a couple months ago, but now it's, you know, it's all about those sub 43s. Alright, we're going to really just use one player
Ehi,
here.
Chase, cosa hai scoperto alla miniera?
Don't have to do much with player 2. Player 2 is going to chill out though, just because we don't want to spend the time of abandoning and then having him
Wow, e
join
adesso che
back in.
intenzioni di fare?
We got another transfer pog here, folks. If you missed the first one,
Ah, ok.
why don't you put a
Io
good old
intanto richiamerò
transfer
Frank.
pog in the chat?
Scommetto che ha perso il telefono.
My goodness. The car and Jesus is really helping us out today. This is one of the best cars in the game. Thank you for the transfer pogs, y'all. Is the best car in the game, no doubt about it. And we're gonna get to go into our last level here. It's like I said, it's short and sweet. This is your. I was explaining this run to someone in terms of the marathon, and they were saying it's like a good old halftime show, you know, right in the middle of the schedule. Halftime, Saturday. We're gonna try and get a little cutscene skip into a punch here at the beginning. I got it in practice, surprisingly, but probably not here. Yeah. For all of the beginning of these levels, if you frame perfect punch at the end of the cutscene, you are able to move. You get control of your character for just a little bit, but when you're on 60 FPS, it hurts. Doing a couple of warps there to get us into this last part of the level. Otherwise, we would need to get another 40k super bricks. We don't want to quit the game. Even though that I do have a save file, we don't want to quit the game necessarily. And now we get to do some advanced fighting. There's a cool Matrix-esque cutscene there. But for now, I'm going to quickly talk about how we can abuse the abandon button with player 2. For some reason, if the guys don't get up before you hit the next one, the game doesn't count it. It doesn't give you the green check mark, and it doesn't let you continue. Which kind of sucks, because it kind of limits your speed. But there's something we can do with player 2 here that allows us to go just a little bit faster. I'm going to see if I can get it. This is our block. It's a special Y button that we get. We're going to press Y and then abandon really quick with player 2. And hopefully we're able to press Y with player 1 as well. And as you can see, we got all three there in really quick succession. Hit the next cutscene. Very nice. Very nice. Here we're going to use a grab and a throw. And we're going to do the exact same thing as the last one. We're going to throw and abandon. And we're able to grab and throw right away. We would not normally be able to. Some people just do this one player because it's a little difficult to time those tricks correctly. But once you get in the rhythm of it, it's really fun. We've got a quote-unquote big man here in the brown pants. We have to spam B to get him down. And I'm going to let you guys enjoy one of the more satisfying parts of this speedrun. Alright, 6 guys all down within the span of just a couple seconds. That's a fun one right there that you get to, once you get really proficient at using 2 controllers, you hit that, and you just feel happy inside. You just feel happy inside. It's
Can I read a quick donation?
Of course.
We got $26 from Bixel that says Elite Donation. Thanks to DJ for this amazing and entertaining run. And for context, our donation total is now up to $1,337.
Whoa. Ah. Very, very fun. You guys are absolutely crushing it with the donation. It's incredible that we're only on Saturday and we've done so much. Once again, I'm going to abuse the shark glitch that we did earlier to be able to move during a cutscene we wouldn't normally be able to move. Going to set up player 2 here while player 1 is going to the checkpoint. What's really important is that you can only spawn on land. Ooh, wow, we're here quite early. So we're going to hit the shark, hit the checkpoint at the same time with player 1, and now player 2. Whoa, there we are. Gonna do a little bit more of extended chicken gliding. I'm gonna hope that I can clutch this up. And you know how I mentioned we were only gonna get 1 red brick during this run? Here it is. We're actually going to put it on right there. I preset that before the run, like the good little speedrunner that I am. I think that's a common theme within a couple of LEGO games. We're gonna get a couple of downs here, actually. This is a really fast... Ooh, that's a good fast round. We were able to get 2 doubles there, which, when you knock them down, you can arrest them, and they have a timer for which they are down for. You always want to get the big guys down without the having to. There we are. Sorry, this requires some amount of focus. Excuse me. That's. We had a good first round, and now we're gonna have a somewhat unfortunate last round. Ah, there we are. All right, and we're all done there. The important part is that you either want to block or you want to throw people into those bare-chested guys, because otherwise you would need to spam, and that loses time during a fight. And the 1 red brick that we got is the boost for all. We got boost here, and that saves us 15 seconds here at the end of the run. And folks, we're already here. I don't know if you can believe it. The 42 minutes just flew past for me. But we're about a minute and a half away from being done with the run. Time is going to be when we hit the next checkpoint. It's going to conclude Chapter 4 and therefore give us the Undercover costume, which is what this whole run is all about. So I quickly, I want to shout out the general LEGO speedrunning community. This has been an awesome event. I was unfortunate enough to not... let me not die here. Clutch up the last bit of this run, otherwise it can be a little bit of an auto-scroller. It's not wanting to, though. I want to talk. Game, I want to talk. But I want to shout out the general LEGO speedrunning community. You guys are amazing for hitting the donation goal as soon as fast as possible. We speedran that too, and I really want to give a big shout out to the LEGO City Undercover speedrunning Discord. Great bunch of people in there. They're a lot of fun. Sometimes we talk smack to each other, but it's all in the name of going fast. I want to shout out a lot of people who've got me here on this journey. Wizard Power. Time, by the way. Time. Excuse me. I got a little into it there. A nice... I called time a little late. It was a nice 43:20. Beautiful to see. Thanks for the GGs. And as I said, it's nice and quick. I'm gonna wrap it up real quick. This is the cutscene where we get the Undercover costume. If you ever want to speedrun another LEGO game, something that's wildly different from a lot of the other LEGO games, this is the one to speedrun. It's an original game, it's fun to play on its own, and it's even more fun to speedrun. I want to see y'all speedrun this. This is a fun game, and it's been through a lot of optimizations, and I'm so happy that I got to share it with you all today. And without further ado, thanks for having me, y'all. I appreciate it. We are good to go.